You know what, guys? Sometimes you just have to accept someone or accept things for what they is and just face reality, call a spade, and just go with it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be because no matter what you think, how we feel, our hopes, our expectations are always constantly going to be dashed. This episode of Friday Night Smackdown on Sci-Fi was the worst episode of Smackdown I have ever had the misfortune to witness. And I didn't even witness all of it in one sitting because the show was so bad, so boring, so dull. It put me to sleep. I was told upon waking up that I was snoring. This show is the cure for insomnia. And at this point, I've suggested it before. Maybe they should just cancel SmackDown altogether and focus on Raw. Because if this is the effort that they're going to put out, a show that's literally putting your audience to sleep, this is not something that is worth watching. This is not something that should be on primetime television. This is something that should definitely not be on a Friday night. Because Friday night is the weekend. It's typically people are going out and doing things on their Friday nights. So anybody that's watching the program is dedicated to professional wrestling and wants to see wrestling in that time frame, a time frame in which they could be doing any number of things. A show like this should not be on Friday nights because it is bad. And what it's going to do, it is going to draw people away. People gonna be like, you know what? I really could have been doing something else. I could have been out hanging out with my friends. I could have been hanging out with my girlfriend, with my wife. I could have been doing something else because 3 hours of monotony is terrible. Watching this show is sleep inducing. It is just bad. Nothing happens. There is no quality. There is no substance. Take it from me. You do not have to watch these programs to be well aware of what's going on in WWE. I took a few weeks off because the product was that bad because I did not want to watch it. So I didn't even make videos for my channel. I took time away from this product, come back for the last 2 weeks, and it's like I've missed nothing. No storylines have advanced. No plots have been advanced. No character development is happening. Nothing goes on these shows. And then we also get long-winded matches because the show is 3 hours. SmackDown is 3 hours. So they have to pad that runtime. So we're getting these incredibly long matches. Backstage segments that mean nothing, that's meaningless. And we're going to get into that. This is just bad television all around. And you cannot make this up. Because clearly WWE Creative can't make anything compelling up. So it's not like I'm lying. The viewership rating plummeting should tell you something. And the fact that they're still hovering around above or slightly below 1 million, that's not good. This show has gotten 4 million viewers in the past. 4.5 million people to tune in. When Roman Reigns was at the height of his tribal chief, SmackDown was doing better numbers than Raw is currently doing. So just because they're at 1 million, maintaining 1 million, slightly above 1 million, slightly dip below 1 million, that's not good. That means they've turned away roughly 3 million fans. 3 million people is like, I don't watch that crap anymore. And I do not blame them. I cannot blame anybody for looking at this product and saying, you know what? I got better things to do with my time. Because you know what? I have better things to do with my time. But I need to watch this stuff for content. But if the content is putting me to sleep, then it is not worth watching. And I have never went to sleep on these shows in the past. No matter how bad Raw or SmackDown is, I at least stay up, take my notes, watch it. Sometimes I watch Raw more than once so I can get all my thoughts together about the product. And I have never went to sleep. This show completely took me out. Put me right off. So if you're tired but can't get to sleep, if you're insomnia or you're having problems staying up, I suggest watch Raw or SmackDown. Watch the SmackDown February 13th, 2026 on Sci-Fi. It was the most boring garbage I ever had the misfortune to attempt to sit through. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And this is why, like I said, no stories are being developed. No characters are being developed. There is nothing going on. The matches don't mean anything. That is a problem. That is an issue. You got stars not showing up. You got stars from other shows showing up because you cannot pad your own show with your talent. So they need Rhea Ripley and Io to come over to SmackDown. They're Raw wrestlers. They need Judgment Day to show up. They're Raw wrestlers because they just don't have anything. You got boring backstage segments, grown men reciting poetry, another man being pushed around on production equipment. Like, this stuff is not engaging. This stuff is actually stupid and insulting to your intelligence, because who in the world will watch this crap? That is what it's getting to. A professional wrestling fan that has a wrestling-centric podcast is asking the question, who would want to waste their time watching anything that WWE produces? Triple H has to be removed from his position. He has to be. He needs to gracefully step down and stop dragging this once great company down with him. He needs to move on, and someone else needs to be appointed. I'll take anybody else. I'll take Paul Heyman. I'll take Vince Russo. I'll take Eric Bischoff. I'll take Jim Cornette. I'll take Tony Khan. Anybody. Somebody. SOS, yo. Somebody out there somewhere. Please come help this company. Because with Triple H at the helm, you're going to see that last year's terrible WrestleMania was not a fluke. It was no accident. It is the state of things. And you're seeing it. This is WrestleMania season. We're coming off the heels of the Royal Rumble. Elimination Chamber is right around the corner, and nobody cares. You got wrestlers coming out getting no pop. You got wrestlers coming out to the ring and being met with silence. That is not good. That means the fans do not care in the least. They're definitely not going to cheer, and they so over the product that they're not even going to boo. They're just going to be quiet. That is ridiculous. That is unprecedented. But here we are. Here we are. So the show kicks off with Tiffany Stratton cutting a promo. Promos are not Tiffany's strong point. Not in the least. She literally has nothing to say unless it's Tiffy time or some flippant offhanded comment. And her one-liners aren't even that great. Tiffany Stratton is athletic and she's good at matches, but she needs a rival. She needs something that she can build to and that she's just not getting it. Remember last year when her and Charlotte got into those promo wars? People were invested in that because, like I said, Tiffany needs someone she can build off of, someone she could play off of, someone that can elevate her. Because she's not just there yet. And Charlotte was able to do that. But we get none of that this year. Tiffany literally has no storyline. And then Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, comes out to interrupt her promo. They're going to beat Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. You know they aren't, but they're going to say they are. And whatever. This whole exchange was just boring. And the fans in attendance were bored. Visibly bored. You can tell. Excuse me. You can tell. You can hear it. You can hear the crowd not reacting. That is a problem. That is an issue. Then Rhea Ripley and Io Sky come out, and of course, you know they're going to win this match. You know they're going to win. They say nobody's not going to make it to the Elimination Chamber because we're going to beat the crap out of you guys tonight. And that is what they're going to do. Well, that is what Io is going to do. I don't know if Rhea Ripley is nursing an injury or feeling out of sorts, but it seemed like Io Sky carried most of this match. And I'm going to say that this match was not as bad as I've heard other people make it out to be. It was actually pretty exciting. I would say one of the better matches of the night. But for the match to be thrown out with no result, I guess they're trying to protect both teams. I don't know. But for the match to be thrown out, and it didn't even look like the referee was attempting to have control of the match. It's things like that take you out of it. When like my partner said, when referees don't count the pinfall or continue to count when somebody either did kick out when they shouldn't have or didn't kick out at all, you see behind the veil. And the referee didn't even attempt to get control of this match. And that's not the first time that happened on tonight where the referee was just like, okay, whatever. WWE can't even be bothered to keep continuity. But this is where we are. The match had two big spots. Io Sky put Nia Jax through a table, and Lash Legend put Rhea Ripley through a barricade. So they're not going to give you story. They're going to just give you spectacle. But spectacle without story is just noise. There's no substance. There's no substance. And I think, for the most part, that's pretty much what this night of Smackdown was doing. It seemed like the wrestlers were attempting in the ring. Seemed like there was some good wrestling going on. The matches were long and drawn out, and that's what killed them. Nobody should be wrestling 20 minutes or more on live television. Those used to be pay-per-view length matches. We don't want to see matches that's daggone close to 30 minutes. Nobody wants that. That makes a match that could have been great and amazing seem boring and tired when it could have ended so many times. Nobody wants these long ass matches. That's just how it is. So then there's also a couple of backstage segments that I want to bring light to before going on. There's two in particular that you know this is just goofball writing, clown show, kindergarten, like the show is for kids. You get two instances where Kip Wilson comes out and he's reading poetry. The demographic is like 18 to 45, something like that. What 18 to 45-year-old male wants to see a grown man carrying a purse, talking about toxic, and reading frickin' poetry on a wrestling program. Nobody, I'm going to tell you, not a single one. These are the guys, 18 years old, they're in the prime of their life. 45, you're an older man, but you're not geriatric. This is the demographic that could very well be doing something else with their time. The demographic that is going to turn away from WWE in droves if this continue to happen. You get R-Truth get into a rap battle with him, because if Kip Wilson gonna put out poetry, of course R-Truth gonna have to rap against him. Then later, Kip Wilson returns to Nick Aldis' office, and Obafemi is there. And then this time, Nick Aldis reads the poetry. And this leads to them making another match that we already seen. A match that Obafemi destroyed Kip Wilson in. This is what I'm talking about. So your reward for sticking with this is a rehash of a squash match that you already seen. That's what you get for being loyal to WWE. That's what you get for hyping yourself up and having expectations about these shows. You get a rematch that was a squash match that you already seen. You know Obafemi is going to win. Come on. You know it. Come on. You knew Rhea Ripley and Io Sky were not going to lose the titles. You know it. You know it. So let's stop pretending. And let's, like I said, call a spade and admit where we really are. Because the nonsensical BS does not end. Carmelo Hayes enters the ring. Carmelo Hayes is in the ring because he wants to give Ilya Dragunov another shot at the United States title. The first thing I said is, my God. Again, how many times have these two fought each other? That was my first thought. Then this match got turned into a jobber fest of the highest order. Because I'm going to tell you why. Apollo Crews, who I didn't even realize was still employed by WWE, and Shinsuke Jabamura was in this match, as well as the MFTs, My Family Jobbers, along with Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. I've said it before, and I will say it again. JC Mateo is a jobber. Tama Tonga is a jobber. Tonga Loa is a jobber. Big Tall Loa, he's a jobber. Solo Sikoa is a jobber. Matt Cardona is a jobber. I didn't even know Apollo Crews still worked there. And you know Shinsuke is a jobber. Nobody cares about this crap. This match is just ridiculous, filler, boring BS. Nobody cares about it. You got a bunch of guys, and this is what I'm talking about. The fans and attendance does not care. Nobody wants to see this crap. Nobody wants to see a collection of wrestlers that we couldn't care less about in any capacity, on TV, in live, and in person. I was just like, good Lord, get this crap off of my television. I don't care, yo. Tama Tonga won when he hit the cutthroat on Carmelo Hayes, and Tama Tonga was infinitely better in New Japan. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why his character isn't why I do know why. Triple H is inept. He's horrible at his job. He does not know how to book talent. I don't say why isn't his character translating and getting over in the U.S. how he got over in New Japan with the Bullet Club. That's because the Bullet Club was a stable that had stuff going on. They had stories. No one cares that they got the Firefly light from the My Family jobbers. They are jobbers. No one cares about this. Next, you get Alexa Bliss versus Julia versus Zelina Vega. And once again, Julia got no pop from the crowd. 0 pop. Zelina Vega got -1 pop from the crowd. It was silent in there. That is not good. It's not good at all. And you could tell by her mannerisms, you could tell by the promos that they cut. They want Zelina to be Scarlett so bad. They want Aleister Black to be Karrion Kross so bad. You had Scarlett and Karrion Kross and you let them walk. You're not going to let these two jokers do it. I like Zelina Vega, but the crowd does not. And Aleister Black is a jobber. He has never drawn a dime for any promotion or promoter he ever worked for. He left WWE because he thinks very highly of himself, as he should. However, it's just not there. He went to AEW, thought he was going to get booked better. The AEW fans did not care. He ran back to WWE, and WWE fans do not care. Aleister Black is just not interesting. Sorry. Alexa Bliss is the only one that gets any sort of reaction from the crowd. And of course, Alexa Bliss is going over in this. You know she's going over in this. Come on now. Charlotte is out there looking good as ever, rooting her on, cheering her on. She's her galentine. And Alexa Bliss catches Zelina Vega with a clean Sister Abigail and rocks her, yo. Packed her tail up, got her out of there. That's it. Then you get a brief segment from Chelsea Green. She shows up even though she's injured. Alba Fire back there rolling her around. Got her broken foot. It's nice to see Chelsea. I hope she stays around. She could do this. She could cut promos like this. And kudos for Chelsea, though. Just being there, just showing up, yo. And take it from me, take it from everybody here at this channel. We're big on Chelsea Green. Because I feel like Chelsea Green could be something if given the opportunity. Next, you're going to have Rey Fenix versus Trick Williams. And I'm not going to waste your time. Trick Williams wins because Trick Williams is over right now. So Trick Williams has something. I believe he's on the cusp of greatness, on the cups of catching lightning in a bottle with them lemon pepper steppers, them pimp slaps, that knee, and his ability to cut promos and his look. It's up to Triple H to hand him the keys to the kingdom. Rey Fenix put up a valiant effort. This was one of the more well-wrestled matches on the card. I think Rey Fenix will be better served in a tag team with Penta because it's not like the tag division has a bunch of teams anyway. I believe he'll be better served in a team with his brother because as a solo act, nobody cares. Sorry. After 100 days, Jade Cargill finally defends her WWE Women's title. And the match with Jordynne Grace was meh at best. Judgment Day makes an appearance. Dominic comes out. He gets heat. He gets the crowd to boo him. They're having a dinner with Liv Morgan with chicken tenders, some roses. This is the crap that nobody cares about. This is the crap that WWE green lights, that they think the 18 to 45 demographic, young men to medium-aged men, care about this. We do not. We do not. No one cares. Jade Cargill defeats Jordynne Grace after a mad match and with the Jaded, and I'll clap my hands because she finally defended her title. She's had the belt since November, over 100 days. This is her first title defense. This shows you they ain't got nothing planned for Jade. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte or Tiffany take the belt from her at WrestleMania and just, they probably won't give the belt back to Jade. Who knows? But you could tell from her title reign that this is half-hearted. They're not putting everything into it, and it shows. How do you go 100 days without defending your title? And then the first person you face is Jordynne Grace, who is pretty much a rookie. She just came to the main roster. Now, don't get me wrong, Jordynne Grace is not a rookie. She's a former multiple-time TNA Women's Champion. She is a veteran of the sport. She has been around the game for years. However, why I said rookie is she just got to the main roster. Jordynne Grace is a Band-Aid. Jordynne Grace says, we don't have nobody to face Jade. What are we going to do? Jordynne is pumped up muscle like her. Give her Jordynne. That's it. Because theoretically, Jordynne Grace doesn't deserve a title shot yet. And there are several people that should be ahead of her. But no continuity. The booking is inconsistent. So Jordynne Grace goes. And I like Jordynne Grace. I'm a fan of Jordynne, but still. Now we're going to move on to the main event, which is Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu versus Sami Zayn. This match is interesting because, one, it was over 20 minutes, so it was a little bit bloated. Two, Drew McIntyre's and Sami Zayn interaction before the match, where McIntyre told Sami that he believes in him, that he thinks this is his time, he's paid his dues, this is the match for him to win. Do I think McIntyre actually believes that? Hell no. He sees Sami Zayn as the weaker between Cody and Jacob Fatu, who he would rather face if he had to face anybody. And the match was excellent. It could have been better if it was shorter. At times I was like, this match is good, and everybody was bringing it. There were several near falls, several moments. Jacob Fatu reversing a Cody Cutter was pretty smooth. A haluva kick to the back of Jacob Fatu's head from Sami Zayn. A Cody Cutter on Sami Zayn from the top rope. There was a lot of stuff going on in this match. There was a lot of moving parts. I enjoyed the match for the most part, but I did not enjoy the ending. The ending was just like, I actually thought they were going to pull the trigger, let Sami get a win, go with something different, and have Drew McIntyre actually start standing tall, looking like a badass heel. Instead, somehow, no matter what Drew McIntyre does, he always got to get his ass whooped, and Cody always has to come out on top. Drew McIntyre interferes in this match towards the end like a badass at first. And I was like, oh my God, they letting Drew McIntyre be a beast. He breaks up a pinfall attempt on Sami Zayn by Jacob Fatu by delivering a Claymore to Jacob Fatu. He takes Jacob Fatu out of the ring and then completely out of the match when he powerbombs him through the announce table. He then Claymore kicks Cody and puts Sami Zayn on top of Cody and leaves the ring like a boss. But like a Super Cena, Super Cody kicks out. He tapped into that Raheem power and kicked out. Because this is a match that you knew Cody was going to win. And this is how protected Cody is. Like, it's ridiculous. His plot armor is getting thicker than Cena's. He kicks out of the Claymore. Ends up, Drew McIntyre turns around and comes back to the ring and beats the crap out of him. Ends up recovering from that. Sami Zayn done behind. Claymore kicks Drew McIntyre, who was trying to help him, who was going to secure victory for him. He Claymore kicks Drew McIntyre, only to have Cody recover like a Super Saiyan from all the previous damage he took. Put him in the crossroads, put his lights out. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn is on his back looking up at the lights, and Cody Rhodes has advanced to Elimination Chamber, joining Randy Orton and LA Knight. Next week on Raw, Gunther is in a match with Jovan Evans and Dominic Mysterio, and you know Gunther is going to win. So my pick for this match, for this Elimination Chamber, is Cody Rhodes, but Cody always has to win. But it's going to be, it could go Gunther or Cody. But either way, one of them two. That is how predictable WWE is. I guarantee it is, because Cody has to stand tall. Even though Cody has proven time and time again that he is not a main event, he has proven that he's more of an upper mid-card guy. More talented wrestlers can be in the position he's in, and they can do it better than he can. Smackdown, I will give it a 1 out of 10, a D-, because the matches were good. They were a little bit bloated, but they were decent and well wrestled. Just the show around the matches were lifeless, dull, and downright boring, downright sleep-inducing, and the long matches did not help that feeling and only added to it. So this product was boring, okay? That is what I'm saying. SmackDown was boring, and I cannot grade a boring show high. It is what it is, man. This has been the Tree of Woe Wrestling Podcast. I am the Black Patriot. And remember, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's a small thing for you, but for me, it means the world, and it means the world to the channel. Peace out and stay safe.